Hey, 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 hey. There we are. I'm a little bit late, so I am. Sorry about that. How are we? How are you? Are you up to date now? Are you doing it properly? Are you playing along? Are you jumping ahead? Because this is stacked up, right? It's we started off at the beginning of the week reminding ourselves of who we were before alcohol, right? Can you hear me? I hope everyone can hear me. Right, we started off there and we thought about the music we used to enjoy to tap into that, well, that remembering who we are. Because we tend to sit there and think, right, things aren't going to be the same. You know, life's been like this forever. I don't want things to change. But this isn't all of who you are, right? There's other parts of you, right? So that's why we went back and we thought about who we were before alcohol. And then we started thinking about what we'd like. You know, imagine if our health or our wealth or our relationship were 10 out of 10. What would that look like? Would that be possible? How could that feel? And this isn't really about what you want as in things like a house and a car or a holiday. It's about how you would feel. How we want to feel. And often we're drinking because we want to feel different. Like, are you drowning your discontent? Or are you feeling numb? Feeling nothing? Like, remember that alcohol is like an anesthetic, isn't it? So if you feel numb and you don't feel anything at all and you don't know what you want and you don't know who you are and you don't know how any of this is going to work for you, like, that's normal. There's many ways to do this. I'm introducing you to my way, and I believe that my way is a no-fail process. It's a culture of progress that I'm trying to create here. There's no judgment, no shame. You know, this is kind of like Slimming World. Imagine you went to Slimming World before you went on holiday. Then you went on holiday, then you bumped into somebody in Slimming World. I want you to feel the same situation. I don't want you to feel any level of shame when you're exploring this. Because remember, it's taken a lifetime to get to where we are now with alcohol. So think about it. Even when you know a relationship is over, even when you know the job isn't the right job, sometimes we just stay a little bit too long. And we often don't even know why. So hopefully this challenge has just maybe woken you up to thinking maybe things could be better. Maybe I could look at life differently. So if this has been an opportunity just to crack the door open a little bit, for you to start looking at this in a different way, then I feel I've done my job. But sometimes, even when we know it's what we want and we're really motivated, we want the change, we can see the brighter future, we're ready to go, we still feel fear. We still feel that overwhelm of things that are going to be different. And you start playing what if. And what if all the things start coming? Like, if this is who you are and this is what you've known for as long as I had, it can be quite scary. And it's wrapped up so much in our identity. For me, I held on to it really tight because I couldn't have children. I tried for about 8 years to have a family. And so because I wasn't able to move on to the next stage in life like all of my friends were, I held on to that party girl persona probably a little bit too long and a little bit too tight. And I thought, well, if I can't have that, then at least I can have this. I travelled around Australia on my own and I felt like I was the oldest swinger in town. And then I met my new partner and things turned around. Like, I turned into that story that I hated to hear about, who, when you forget about it, And now I'm blessed with two beautiful children. But I think if even after I was blessed with those children that I desperately, desperately really longed for and loved, right? I still tried to hang on to both. I still wanted to have both because it was the mummy needs wine culture just gave me permission to weave it in. So I was able to do the two things together. I would go to the park with a bottle of wine and meet up with my friends who would also go to the park with a bottle of wine. Would go to the beer gardens with our kids. Like it was, that just turned into something that we did. We got a caravan and we weaved it in that way. And it never seemed as if I moved away from that chapter. It just kept it with me all the way. And it didn't even lighten up, actually. If anything, it probably got more intense. Perhaps as the opportunity was there for us to have it. Maybe I had more access to money or something. I never felt like I didn't have it because we couldn't afford it. That was never a thing. And even when I felt poorly, I would think, oh, well, I can't have wine because I feel poorly from wine. I'll have to have, I don't know, gin or lager or something. I had an answer for everything, a drink for every single occasion. At no point did I ever say, oh no, I don't want any, I'm going to have a cup of tea. That just wasn't who I was. I was drinking if it was available and if it was possible. I never chose to leave it, and I never dreamt for 1 minute that I would stop. When I initially looked at this, I wanted that middle ground. I wanted that magic place of moderating that we all talk about. But to be honest, I never got there. I never got there from being a drinker to moderating. I quit and I stopped for 125 days. And then I started again and I felt then I was moderating. But I was miserable. It wasn't making me happy. Yay! Oh, is the connection not great? Oh, I hope you can hear me. So I think it's just a case of keeping an eye on where you feel you're at. Do you feel like you're ready to make this decision? Or are you kind of like looking from behind a cushion and thinking, look, I know this is what I need to do, but I'm not quite ready yet? Or you're sitting like this, folding your arms, thinking, this isn't going to work. This isn't true. Can't possibly be right. Where's the scam? You know, like be aware of, you know, what are those voices? What are you feeling into this? Are you excited? Are you thinking this is exactly what I'd love? I want to explore all these different parts of my personality. I want to understand more about myself. You know, I would have known instantly that this was for me. I would have wanted more, right? And I would have felt like celebrating that I wasn't here just doing this on my own. That's what was important to me. Like, it's important to me that you understand that you're not going through this on your own. And although there's that element of fear to commit in case we fail, like very few people say, today's my day one, but they'll turn around and go, I'm 3 weeks now. And I often wonder how many times has it taken you to get to there? And you didn't have to do that on your own. You don't have to do that bit on your own. That's the hard bit. Like, explain, share what you see, share what's there, you know, and that's the bit. That's the bit. It's those times when it doesn't work out, looking back and exploring, what was it that you still believed? What was it that you were still hanging on to? You know, so a couple of questions to ask you. Hang on, I'm going to go back because I've jumped right in without even looking at my notes. I'll just go through to check. I think it's even before there, Clement. Right, yes, the things that we're frightened of. So what's holding we back? We're all here. We know that something needs to change. And it might be that we're afraid of what might happen if you keep drinking. And then in the next minute, you're afraid of what's going to happen if you give it up. So don't be worried about that, because I was scared of failure too, and I was also scared of what my life would look like without it, like even for a short time. So I want you to close your eyes for a minute and think about what your fears are. What is it that's holding you back? And not any of these, these are things I've heard before, so they might be the same for you. Fear of the unknown. Maybe you've drank that long, you don't even know who you would be without it. Fear of failure. Like, if you commit to this, even to yourself, and you can't do it, what does that mean? Like, fear of having a boring life. Do you really think you're going to be boring if you don't drink alcohol? Like, even write that down and read it back to yourself. Like, that's not true. Fear of losing friends and worrying what people are going to think. Like, that could be two levels. It could be you're worried that because you stop, they have a judgment that you have a problem with alcohol. So hang on, the other option is keep drinking so they don't think you've got a problem with alcohol. It's like perfectly fine to say, in this day, this, you're safe to say, like, at this time, because of your health, because of finances, just because you're a grown woman and do what the hell you want. What about you being the inspiration here? What about if the other person is also worried about addressing this and they're worried about what you would think? So this is about giving yourself permission to admit your fears, admit what you believe is really holding you back. And it's all right letting them dance around in your head and you go, oh yeah, oh God, oh no. And you just don't go there. Like, pick up a pen and start writing it down. Like, what is it? Fear of judgment. What is it? Because it's really important to see what you're up against here. People ask me all the time, do I miss alcohol? And if I'm honest, it didn't happen overnight. It was a process until I learned to live without it. And yes, at the beginning, I just didn't know where to put myself. There was times I felt like I had my skin on inside out. Like, the first two times I remember, I went into a restaurant and it was cocktails 2 for 1, and the woman was trying her hardest to get me to have a cocktail, and I was really quite irritated by her. Like, now I would calmly be able to say, oh no, like, it's not a problem. I don't drink. I couldn't even say the words. Like, this is the stages that I've gone through, and now it's like 4 years, and still there's new beliefs and things that I'm like coming up against in my life, and I feel able to deal with them where I didn't feel like that before. I didn't feel like I had this level of control over my own future. I didn't even really go there. It was just what was right in front of us right now, and if I didn't feel comfortable, it would be to take a drink. Where this way I can like explore that and say, well, look, that's happened before. How about I put something in place? Like, it just feels like I've got more time, more patience with myself, and compassion. And I think because I used to believe I needed it. That was the problem. But now I just feel free. I've got more energy. I'm happier than I've felt in years. And that in itself feels empowering, because it's not something I'm adding. It's just me. It just feels like I've taken away that fog. So, my way, no failure. It's a process. Together we're uncovering the truth about alcohol, what you believe about it, so we can unpick those beliefs, right? So what I want you to do, I've got a couple of questions for you. Journal prompts, right? Today what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you these journal prompts, and then I'll share a little bit more, and I'm going to say the people who are interested in working with me, I'm going to share how I've got a plan where you can work with me from now up until December. So if you've worked out how much you would spend from now till December, I'm guessing it'll be nowhere near as much as I'm hoping to charge you, right? To spend more time exploring this together in a capacity where we can actually, you can share with me what's going on for you, like in a personal group coaching call on Zoom. You don't have to put your camera on. You can keep your camera off. You can lie in bed with your pajamas on if you want. But this is just a way to feel that little bit more connected with each other, and obviously with myself, and to work with you throughout the dark nights through till Christmas, to go through the rest of the book and have some group coaching, and also I've got some other free things that I want to share with you that I think are really going to help you to think about who it is that you're wanting to become. So things like vision board training. So it might be like you don't know which area of your life, you're not sure what it is that would make things better. You just don't know how it's going to happen. But I want you to let go of that, let go of how, and concentrate on what do you want to be experiencing in your life? What is it that's missing? What do you want your experience of life to feel like? It's not so much about what you want to have, and it's more about how you want to experience your life. And then to really try to think about which part of your identity wants this. Like, which part of you? Is it, the mother in you? Is it part of you that wants to up level and grow? Are you feeling like you're called to be more and do more? Really start tapping into that and thinking about which part of you has got you here. And also, which part of you will you have to let go of in order to do this? So think of it like shedding skin. This isn't about regret and wishing, when you look back over your life and you start feeling bad, it's like depression, isn't it, when you're looking back over things? And when you're sitting worrying about the future, that's like anxiety. You're worried about what you can't control, and you're worried about things that have already happened. So it can be scary, but it's also possible for you to shed that skin and to let go of that, and to think of it as a chapter of your life. That was then and this is now. So those 3 questions again: what do you want to be experiencing in your life? In which part of your identity wants this? Which part of you wants this? Is it because you feel like you're not tapping in yet? You feel like you've got limited beliefs about what you're able to do? Like, I can remember saying that I had a dream I wanted to be a yoga teacher. I still don't even think it's too late for that, to be honest. But back then, when I said that out loud, my partner at the time laughed, right? And it really hurt my feelings. It hurt my feelings. But actually, when I've explored that, looking back on it, that was about who he would have to be, right? It wasn't about me. And it's about having that compassion and having that new lens of looking at things, rather than, just reaching for a drink or taking the blame, or feeling like it's a dent on you, or taking that. And I think in the notes here I talk about or is it a bag of potatoes, right? I want you to think about every time someone's hurt you and somebody said something, or I don't even know where it is. I definitely wrote that down somewhere today. I can't find it now. I'll try and remember it off the top of my head. Imagine every time someone hurts you, or you take a dent, or a character building situation happens. Imagine somebody gives you a rotten potato and you walk around with it and you put it in your pocket, and then something else happens and you have all of these rotten potatoes that you're turning up with them and you're walking around with them. This is your opportunity to put them down, and let go of them, and feel more into the idea of that was then, and I did what I could with the skills and the knowledge that I had at the time. Sometimes it's about forgiveness, about forgiving yourself for not standing up for yourself. in that moment, like, and letting that go instead of feeling like you've still got that fight. How many times has your new partner or your partner now say something and it reminds you and it triggers something in you, then you just feel angry because you didn't stick up for yourself the last time, and the last time could have been like years ago. And it's all of these realizations and self-awareness that comes bubbling to the top if you're prepared to sit with it and you're prepared to look at it and you're prepared to work your way through it, because often your relationships are mirrors reflecting back at you. So, like, this could be the best decision that you ever made. It's going to impact your leadership. It's going to impact how you move around in the world and how you communicate. There's so much to gain from doing this, and I understand that there's going to be these fears, and it's up to you to explore what they are and start again being honest with those fears and thinking, like, am I really going to let that stand in the way of this vision that I've got of myself, of this identity that I've got? Or is it time for me to let that go now? Is that part of the skin that I'm ready to shed? Because did you know all of your skin and your hair and everything, every 7 years, it's completely different. You've shed it all, right? So think of it like that. Like, you're letting go of these limitations, these invisible barriers that you've often put up yourself because we're too worried by what ifs. But instead, we're asking ourselves these different questions, and now we're wondering, like, how will not relying on alcohol impact other areas of my life? So not just the most important part. Like, this is the scary bit, because it won't just change one thing. This decision has the potential to change everything. But at first it might be hard, especially if you've been a people pleaser. And especially if you've been drinking to drown out a feeling. Maybe you might find it hard if you find yourself being quite independent and you don't like asking for help. This might be pushing your buttons now, thinking, well, I'm not going to ask for help. I'm not paying for help with this. I shouldn't need help with this. But, like, I relate to that. And that might come from feelings of being let down in the past. But instead of seeing this as a decision from a position of weakness, I want you to see it as an investment, a personal development investment in yourself. Right? So instead of taking the wine, you're taking this as, like, these thoughts and these reframes and these tools and techniques and tactics that you can use in your life and share with your family and the people who you love. So imagine showing up with energy and finding out who you are and what you're made of as a leader, as a human, as a goddess in your own life. If you could drop the story of fear and get real about what you should really be afraid of, and, like, you can turn to page 73 about that, because on there we'll talk about busting the myths around alcohol. And it talks about, we all know somebody, whether it's you or somebody else in your life, who distracts themselves with alcohol. But when do the birthday cards stop? We give each other birthday cards and it's all a big joke. But when does that stop? When they stop picking the kids up from school, when they forget to pick the children up from school. Like, do we not send them a birthday card about alcohol anymore? Like, at what point does it stop? When is it not funny? Often you go to a funeral and it's not even mentioned about that. And people are standing drinking and celebrating the end of their life. And it starts to get a bit crazy and bonkers in your head when you look at it, and it just doesn't seem like it makes sense anymore, because you've been so ingrained in it as just a go-to. And once you take a step away from it and you recognize that it's actually a poison, it's carcinogenic, it's group 1, which means there's enough evidence to show that it causes cancer. So if you're buying your friends a bottle of Prosecco, like, it's kind of like getting them sunbeds. Like, we wouldn't do that now. We used to lie in a sunbed and bake ourselves to death until we knew the facts about skin cancer, and this is now understanding the facts about alcohol. And it's like, we don't want to know, we don't want to go there. We're just like, don't take anything you want, but don't take that. So I think it's just really interesting to start exploring this and asking yourself these questions. But instead of the shock tactics, I'd much prefer that you dance with the fear that tries to keep you drinking, so that you can get at the bottom of how you really want to feel. So in the book as well, I have the habit tracker. I think that's Susie's section, the habit tracker. Yeah, page 81. Where we start tracking, like, when you're having your cravings, what mood you're in, what mood it is that you're actually wanting to feel, so that we can really tap into what it is that you're seeking. Because when you're considering not drinking, right, so say if you're thinking that you're using alcohol as a solution to something, because if you're going to take it away, we've got a fear that there's going to be a gap there, right? So what we're looking at is what fear pops up, because that's where the clue to what you believe about alcohol is. Say, for an example, you're absolutely fine and you're not bothered about drinking, but when you go out with those friends, you know you have to drink because you have a fear. You wouldn't be able to, you would have to drink, and then you have to unpick that. That's the discomfort that you need to be unpicking and questioning. Is that true? Is that a fact? Is it really true? Like, are there other ways? Like, we say, is it true? Is it really true? Is it nothing but the truth? Like, is there another way around this? Like, maybe don't go, or maybe have an honest conversation with somebody. Maybe suggest, instead of meeting in a pub, you meet somewhere else and you go to pictures, or you do something different, you go for a walk. Like, we don't know at that stage, as soon as the fear pops up, that is the only, oh well, then you have to keep drinking then. Like, let's explore it together. Let's see what fear pops up, and then let's explore it together, because it could be the best decision that you've ever made. I've said that you are capable of doing this alone, but we'll have a lot more fun doing it together. So I have an invitation for you. You're welcome to stay on, and I'll share ways that we can work together. If you don't want to work with me, that's absolutely fine. You can leave now. What I will be doing is putting in the homework. I'll put the questions I've asked you is little in a post, so that you can see those questions again. And really, don't forget that I'll be back tomorrow as well with cravings for the secret number 3. So sticking with this, if you're keen to work with me, and if you've worked with me before in any capacity, I have got a special golden ticket offer for you, because I really want to do what I want to really do for you is I want to honour your loyalty, and that's perfect timing, because I think Sarah Louise Johnson, you've just jumped on, darling. Hello, sweetheart. So anybody who's worked with me before is going to get the benefit from this golden ticket. I don't want to leave anyone behind, and I feel as if I've got to a level now where I'm confident. The book is out. The online program matches the book. Each chapter has an online training similar to these 3 trainings, so you can work through that in your own pace. And that's self-study, so you could be watching that over and over again. You'd also get access to these recordings as well. And what else is included from Wednesday, which is the 7th, 8 o'clock on Wednesday, and every Wednesday up until December, I think. Every Wednesday I will be turning up on a Zoom call, so it's the So Much More Than Sober Zoom sessions are going to be back. And now we're having active members. We've got girls, ladies, fantastic goddesses in the membership who are now 4 5 weeks sober, some of them even more. And I'm just so excited to pull everyone together and get some momentum, get some real momentum behind this vision that I've got for myself, and also for anybody who jumps in and who is really behind this wave that I feel we've started here, because this is about empowerment. It's not really a decision from a place of crisis. This is an empowering choice, and feeling like, when things are on solid ground, you want that foundation. This is where you're going to find the strength, you're going to find the energy and the focus and the clarity. And by having that weekly call, the momentum, this isn't a non-drinking challenge. I don't want anybody to freak out and go, oh my God, I can't drink till December. But also, I would love anybody who's thinking, right, I'm going to use this opportunity for exactly that. So I hope you can see that how I've created it, so that at every level you're going to get the value of that momentum. So the people who are ahead of you are going to be pulling you through and encouraging you, as well as myself. And then you'll have the opportunity to do that for other people. So we'll end up with a beautiful community of women who just want more, that desire more for themselves. And we'll be meeting every Wednesday. You've got the back office in your own time. You can go through the membership, the portal with the chapters in. And then also there's another incentive for people who jump in now at this wave, because I probably won't be doing anything else to promote until January now. If you jump in now, I'm also going to give you access to the monthly membership, which again has a community, and I turn up 3 times a week, and there's Q&A, and it's, we're talking, we're sharing. It's really that level of knowing that you're not on your own that I really wanted to create here. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that you can see the value in that. The whole thing that I'm charging for this, it was £333. I've had people in the community who've paid that, who've come out of it, and they're over a year sober now. I'm sure Angie won't mind us mentioning her, and there's other people, Samantha, various different people in there who've done this training. But because I'm doing it now, and because I'm pulling it in and as part of this challenge, I really wanted a wave of people, and I really want people who are committed, who will help me to find the next wave of people by sharing their story. So that could be in 2 different ways. It can be anonymous. You don't have to have your face plastered everywhere, but just a way to give back for my hard work, and for me giving you this discount, so that I can help reach out more people. I've designed it in a way with the book and the recording that I can touch many, many women. And I've also got slots for pen pals. So if people do want that one-to-one commitment, I can give you that as well. But those slots are very limited. So if you need that, then jump in. But for today, what I'm offering is this 333, but it's down to 197. And for that, you get the membership, you get the access to the Sober Goals program, and the vision board workshop. So you'll get the vision board workshop, which will help you with that. What do I want? Where am I going? What's exciting for me? And how do I want to feel? If you need more there, then you're going to have access to that workshop as well. So anybody got any questions for that? 2 comments. I can't see. Any comments? Oh, Rachel says I keep freezing. I hope not. So what I'm going to be doing is, I'm going to be back tomorrow with the cravings. So again, if you look at the, it was on Susie, the Handy Habit Tracker, page 80 and 81, in the cravings section, what we're looking for is patterns. And tomorrow I'm going to be coming on and talking to you about cravings, because they're the clue to what you believe about alcohol. And in there you're going to be able to help move forward. So it's not about, oh, I've had a drink, I failed, it didn't work for me. It's more about what you do at that stage. Do you look back and think, well, what happened? What was it that you still believed? Did you prepare? Were you thinking ahead? what came in and knocked you sideways? Were you not thinking, were you not prepared for that? Were you not expecting that? So it's about exploring instead of thinking, oh, this didn't work, it didn't work for me. So anybody who is keen and really wants to jump in now, like honestly, message me, just send me a private message and I can send you the link and you can get started like straight away. But on the back office stuff, but the kickoff for the Wednesday nights is this week on the 7th. So I'll be telling you all about it again at the end of tomorrow's session as well. So and these videos are going to be available until Sunday. So thank you for following along. Keep following, keep popping in your comments. I'll put on the questions from today's session so that you can follow along there and really drill down on what it is that you're wanting to feel, what it is that you're feeling that is missing in your life. And it might be that you don't want to put that out here, and that's the idea behind this Sober Pen Pal. So you can contact me individually. I will share my call link because I will be available for that as well if anybody did want one-to-one. It's just the main drive for this challenge was to work with the group program, and then anybody who needed additional or wanted extra one-to-one will just have to reach out separately. That's kind of like a separate conversation if that's what you want. But for this, it's a bargain because it's such a lot of support. I've worked it out that it's actually less than you trading a bottle of wine a week for you to commit to this and have this level of support. It's bonkers bananas if you don't jump in. Like, you need to be questioning your level of commitment because I've slashed the price right down. I've worked really hard on this, and it's an opportunity to bring the book to life and to keep your level of momentum. So between now and Christmas, you've got that accountability, you've got that connection and that support, and then it's just up to you to turn up. It's turning up and just paying attention, and slowly this transformation, you'll turn around and it just won't be so important to you. That's exactly what the stages are going to take you through, from stuck like Susie, and then you move through to Ollie, you're observing, you're being bold like Bessie and taking action. But the next part is engaging in sober life like Elsie. And then you'll turn around and you'll soon feel like you're rebalanced like Riley. But it's what next? So sober what now? Like, if you are relying on it because of a problem in your life, we're here, to actively support and find that solution. And it's that element of support that I'm offering to you. It's not necessarily that you're getting support to stop drinking. It's accountability and somebody there to support you to look at what it is in your life that you need that additional help with, or someone just to talk it over. All of this is coming from inside of you. You know what it is that's not sitting right with you. It's about listening to those inner whispers in the middle of the night. What is it that you're scared of? And really unpicking, are you scared of the right thing here? Are you scared of the unknown? Scared of, what about being scared of the call from the doctor? What about, would your friends support you if you had that call from the doctor? Like, this is a serious situation. Like, really look at it. Best way, journal. Put it away for a few weeks and you look back at it and you can see there where the emotion is removed, and you can see the facts that you don't need it. It's not necessarily as necessary for part of your life. And given that level of accountability and putting some skin in the game, and paying means he'll pay attention. I mean, I've spent thousands of pounds on my own personal development to get to this stage so that I can support as many women as possible. And my goal is to get as many people through this process as possible so that we can start shouting about it, and you'll share with your friends. We just need to break through this level of shame. We've got here, we're in this situation, we all want something to change. It's about just breaking through that invisible barrier and saying, no, I don't need alcohol. I'm perfectly fine without it. I don't need to spend my money on it. I don't need it to make me feel anxious and depressed. I don't need it in my life. And if you're not sure about that, I'm inviting you to take some time between now and Christmas to look at this together. And whether you drink or you don't drink is part of that process and entirely up to you. But I'm hoping that message will get through, and slowly it'll just become easier for you to just take off those shackles, if you like, and just walk away from something that's just pulling you down. Like, again, how is it that you want to feel? That's today's question, and I'll put a post on there. And whether you just journal prompt, you don't even have to reply on the actual post, but sit down, light a candle, and write down how is it that you want to feel. What do you want to feel? Safe, secure, successful, free, connected? What is it that's missing? Do you want to feel like you can focus, you've got clarity, you can make a decision? Just sure that you don't want to feel that you have to have permission. So many things. So lean into that and try to sit quietly. And it's not a jumping around dancing session. This is really the real stuff about what is it that is holding you back from what it is that you want. Right? Over and out. That's me. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye from me.